Diakite for the win. And now it's getting away. He's sacked in the end zone. Mandy Alonso comes away with it. Knocks it away. Rebound into the hands of Hunter. And Virginia with the all-time turnaround title.
Well. Good afternoon to all of you. Good Friday afternoon. We made it to Friday. It is 2:39 Eastern Standard Time, so I'm sure many people at work or school right now. But if you get in here to watch, we appreciate you. We just got myself today. Everybody else is at work or doing some other stuff, so figured I'd hop on here for a few minutes because we didn't have the chance to talk at all about what just happened last night. Some pretty crazy stuff. The Cardiac Cavaliers do it again, as Jay and my dad would say, just weaned a game, and they did that 66-60 in overtime. How about that, people? And I'm sure there must have been so many people out there, including myself for a little bit, that just thought the season is over. Because if you lose that game, the season's done, and it did not look like we were going to win that basketball game for a long time. But I said on X before the game, and I kind of let everybody know this too, you just got to let the rust shake off. I knew there's going to be a little bit of a rust factor. Boston College coming off of playing 2 games, whatever it was before that, and we hadn't played since Saturday. So just got to shake some of the rust off because obviously you could tell right away there at the beginning of the game. I mean, the first few minutes, it must have been it was 11-4 at the first media timeout, I think. So I'm just putting the banner up here. If you're in here, we always love to interact. I always love to interact. Leave a comment. I'd love to share it and give you thoughts if you have any questions. An outstanding game last night. It was not an outstanding game. From a neutral, if you're a neutral ACC fan that's watching that game last night, it's an outstanding game. It went to overtime. That's about all you can ask for a quarterfinal game. And, I mean, the Cardiac Cavs, they came away with it. So, like I said, if you got anything to say, leave it in the comments. So we started out the game real rough with that rust, like I said, 11-4 at the first media timeout. And I can tell you right now, there's definitely people that just thought it was over after that. So I just said, just wait for the rust to settle. And it really didn't settle until we made that little run there. There was a 7-0 run, and it had the done dunk, the alley-oop from Beekman, which we've seen so many times between that duo, which is just outstanding, fantastic. Some very important minutes from Jake Groves, I thought. He was 5 of 13 from the field. It didn't feel that way, though. He hit a couple clutch threes. He had 11 rebounds. He was 15 and 11. That's huge. That's what you can ask from him. Just make some of your shots. I would have liked a couple more, but those are big. Also, Andrew Rohde. That's a very interesting name from this game, I think. We didn't see him at all on senior night against Georgia Tech. We didn't see him one bit. So the question for Bennett was, we assumed he wasn't going to start. If he didn't play at all against Georgia Tech, I'd assume he didn't start. And he didn't, which is good in my opinion. But he comes off the bench and plays 25 minutes, which is very interesting. And it sounds like a report came out that Rohde was the one who fired up the squad going into overtime to get them to finish the deal, which I love to hear that. I mean, you really couldn't ask for more out of Rohde from that game. He had some outstanding defense, in my opinion. Defense was excellent. And then he hit those 2 threes, which were big. We didn't just get one trial 3-pointer last night. We got 2 trial 3-pointers, and those are big. And then he had a shot to go with that as well. So Rohde he played some important minutes last night. Now, do you turn around and start him tonight? No. He's still not great, of course. What I would say, though, is I don't hate him. Maybe not a 6-man. I wouldn't say a 6-man. I don't hate him being in the rotation. I think he can play some very important minutes for the Cavs, defensively and offensively, because he has the ability to make shots. He just does not do it from very often. He's not a starter. I can tell you that right now. He should not be starting. I do think he should be in the rotation, not a sixth man, but around the seventh or eighth guy. Play a couple key minutes, and it really kind of panned out last night. I mean, if he's going to be the one to fire up the team going into overtime and play some defense like he did, that is some outstanding stuff from Andrew Rohde. I'm very happy to see that. Who else here? Tane Murray. How about Tane Murray? Early in the season, and welcome to any of you that are just coming in. Be sure to leave a comment. We love to interact with the viewers. It's just me today, but we were joking around a lot about Tane Murray early in the season. Like, why is this guy in the game? Like the Notre Dame game, he was getting a lot of minutes, and we're just like, what is he doing in the game? But I'll tell you what, he played some important minutes last night offensively, because there were points, and I mean, seems to be like this throughout the whole season almost. The offense has been awful. The offense has just been absolutely terrible. You can't argue that. He played some very important minutes. He had 11 points, which doesn't sound like much, I believe, or I feel like, but those 11 points were huge. He was 5 of 6 from the field. One of them was a 3. Those points were big time because we had the one run where we weren't scored nothing, and then here comes Tane Murray, layup, 3-pointer. Just huge minutes from him, and he's really turned around. I mean, in my opinion, tonight he's got to get some more minutes. I think he should honestly be playing just about the same as Rohde, if not more. So Tane Murray has been really important. I've been loving seeing him do that. There's a couple key players. I still don't get the run that Dante Harris had. He had the 1-2 to tie up the game. But other than that, I mean, yeah, he's an all right ball handler, defender. But I don't get the run that he's getting, to be honest. When we are in a drought like we were last night, where we need a bucket, that's not who I went out on the floor. I'll take almost any other guard on the team out on the floor over Dante Harrison. He got 10 minutes. I mean, it was what it was. We won the game, so. But one very important factor to last night's win, and I know it's probably all over social media. I know Jay and my dad thought the same thing. Jordan Minor. He didn't start. Obviously, he hasn't started in a while, I think. He didn't really get that much run until late in the second half because we were in foul trouble. I think Dunn had 4, Buchanan had 3. We were in foul trouble. So Jordan Minor comes in the game, and that Post guy from Boston, I don't know his first name, but Post is his last name. He was dominating us the whole time. Jordan Minor comes in my opinion, the hero of the game. He makes that stop in the last minute where Post is posting him up, blocks the ball. There was not a more clutch defensive stop last night than that right there, in my opinion. That was huge from Minor. He was so huge defensively. Like that is what we need. And that's kind of when we had that little 8-0 skid in our schedule this year, when we went like 8-0, that's when Minor started playing. That's when he started playing a lot more and guarding the big boys from all the other ACC teams. I think we just got to get back to that. I think he should start tonight because guess who we get to face tonight? And I'll get to this in a little bit. DJ Burns from NC State. I don't think there's a soul on the University of Virginia basketball team that will guard Burns except for Minor. Minor, even if he can't guard him, he will give you the best effort. He will give you the best product on defense when it comes to playing against a big guy like DJ Burns. And Lord, I don't need DJ Burns putting a knife in Virginia again like they did at NC State earlier this year. That was awful. But more on that later. Anyways, Jordan Minor, just huge defensive minutes from him. And obviously his minute count got ran up a little bit because of overtime too. He wouldn't have had 19, but that's the tale of the season got shown again in this game. The free throw shooting. I can't remember. We finished 8 of 18 from free throws, 44%. And this seems like the tale that is told our whole season. And I think Jay's been saying this a lot recently. He's been saying this is going to end up what cost us our season. We're going to get stuck in a point where we're missing all of our free throws. And I mean, that's going to cost us a game. And man, if he wasn't close to right last night, I thought we were done. If we can just make 2 or 4 or 5, just any of those free throws in the last 5 minutes. That's what kind of scared, because there was a lot of. I thought the refs let them play a lot in the first half, but the second half it got real nitpicky for both sides. Both teams are getting fouls called upon, and people were in the bonus with like 10 minutes to go in the game, and then we're in the double bonus like 4 minutes to go. I'm like, great, we're in the double bonus, but at the same time, now we got to shoot foul shots, and Lord knows we don't feel comfortable shooting foul shots. Nobody on the team. If you have to choose one, you got to take either Jake Groves or Reese Beekman, in my opinion. And Groves hit some very clutch ones there in overtime, but I mean, it's just awful. You've got, if in my opinion, well, it's tough to say this now because you got a game to play tonight. I mean, if I'm Tony Bennett, I'm in the gym this morning, and we're not letting any of the team leave the gymnasium until we make something like 500 foul shots or something like that. That's how bad it was. Like, you just can't be that bad with foul shooting, because that's what's going to cost you games. If you cannot make your foul shots, you will not finish a game. And that's the kind of stuff that'll make those crazy round of 64 games happen, where a 12 versus a 5 game, where the 5 seed has the lead with by like 6 with like 5 seconds to go, or that. Okay, that's a little exaggerated. You get the point. You just got to make your free throws and you're out of there. They miss the free throws. The smaller team comes down, hits a 3, just like that, one possession game. Like, you've got to make your free throws, and we will not win a game in the NCAA tournament if we shoot free throws like we did last night. And it's the tale of the whole season. We've been awful with the foul shooting all season long. And there's no excuse for it. You've got to be able to make your foul shots. It's as fundamental as it gets. It really is. Speaking of the NCAA tournament, are we a lock now? What are we thinking? Leave your comments if you have anything to say, any questions. I want to know if we are considered a lock now for the NCAA tournament. I don't think we are, because there is still plenty of other teams, including Pitt, who are making a lot of noise in that bubble bit. And it's do I think we are a tournament team? Yes, but the computers say otherwise. The geniuses like Lunardi that run the computers would say otherwise. And I mean, we just don't pass the eye test right now. But a win last night was huge. If we would have lost last night, I think we're done. Last night would have been the last game of Virginia basketball of the year if we lose that game. So thank God we won the game. But are we a tournament team now? Are we a lock? Are we 50-50? What are we thinking? I'd say with the win tonight, I'd say definitely we're in. Then we're in the ACC championship against likely North Carolina. But, I mean, Pitt is kind of hot, and you don't know what Pitt can do. Pitt's beat some tough teams all year, including Virginia and North Carolina. So Pitt could distort the waters a little bit for the 7 o'clock start tip-off time for the UNC game. But it'll likely be North Carolina. We'll see. But, I mean, if we win tonight, I'd like to say that we are comfortably in. But, I mean, you just never know. No matter what happens, and we said this before, my dad said this before, no matter what happens on Selection Sunday, we will not be sitting comfortably watching that selection show. Unless we win the ACC tournament. Unless we win the ACC tournament, we will not be sitting comfortably on Selection Sunday watching the selection show. But get a win tonight. That's huge. If we win tonight, I'd say yes, we're a tournament team. And I mean, while you're at it, I mean, I believe this team could compete with North Carolina in the championship. Will they win? No. And I'm getting ahead of myself. But this team has the potential to win the tournament. I don't think they will. First we got to get past NC State. But I mean, we kept it close with North Carolina. I don't think it's that far out of the equation. But anyways, I think we're a tournament team. I don't know what the computers will say. I mean, last night's win was huge, but I mean, how about the buzzer beater from Boston College? I think the guy who hit it, I can't remember his name. whoever hit that buzzer beater at regulation, I'm 90% sure that that was one of the only baskets he had all game. Then he fires up a shot at the buzzer and bam, he's a legend at Boston College. Like, you got to be kidding me. How do you? It wasn't Post. It wasn't McLaughlin. It was like the red hair dude. I think I can't remember the white headband. Didn't hit a shot all night. He might have had like one layup or something, and then he hits that. That's as frustrating as it gets. But again, don't got to worry about it if you make your foul shots. You've got to make your foul shots. Like I said, if you have anything to say, leave it in the comments. Any thoughts? Last night was huge. It was late. My goodness. Of course, Virginia would end up at the 9:30 tip-off time slot for every game of in that slot out of all the brackets in the ACC tournament, out of all the possible spots. 9:30. That's rough. We didn't finish last night's game till what, midnight? It must have been 12. We wanted to go live. Me and Jay definitely wanted to go live, but it was so late. So we opted not to. Figured I'd hop on here for a few minutes though. I'm getting home from school, so but I mean, I'm glad we won. Just got a lot of people said it on X, including myself. You got to survive in advance. That's all it is. Survive in advance. But if we look ahead now to tonight, we got NC State at 9:30. I think on the Twitter account we posted something like NC State was favored by a ton, which that was wrong. I was gonna say when I first saw that I couldn't believe my eyes, but now so we're favored. UVA is favored by 2.5 points tonight at 9:30. So very, very interesting line, I'd say. It's gonna be a good game. I think it'll be a good game. I do think that. And like I said, if you're just getting here, leave a comment, leave your thoughts, any questions. But it's going to be a big game. If we can win tonight, that boosts the confidence up a ton that we'd make the tournament. 2.5 point favorites. I don't even know what I'd take in that game, to be honest. I don't know what I would take. It's going to be a tough fought battle, a hard fought battle, however the saying goes. 71% of the bets are for UVA right now. So, I mean, I don't know. It's a big game. You got to stop DJ Burns, but not only do you have to stop DJ Burns, and he didn't even do that much against Duke last night. He hit some clutch shots when it mattered. And how about that, by the way? Let's take a moment to pause and talk about Duke lost in the ACC quarterfinals to NC State. How happy were we with that? I saw the Heel brothers went live. The one Heel brother last night went live. That was very exciting. Great job, guys. Duke, I don't know about Duke. I'll tell y'all what. At first, I was thinking they'd definitely be Sweet 16 bound at the very least, but I mean, they could be on upset watch. They've lost 2 in a row now, right? 3? I can't remember. They lost to North Carolina. I'll let you know right now. Duke has lost 2 in a row. So they lost to North Carolina because they beat NC State before North Carolina. They beat NC State by 15 on March the 4th. And then they came out against NC State now, and they lost. So that just shows you anything can happen. I mean, we split with NC State, but I mean, DJ Burns didn't do a whole lot last night, but he made some shots when it mattered. It's not even about fully stopping him. It's about not having to give up the double to give up the wide open 3. We've got to be able to limit his passing ability because that's what got us the first go around. Is he would, I think it was Buchanan that was in there a lot against Burns. And Buchanan, I mean, we know Buchanan isn't the most built defensive player on our team. I mean, he would move Buchanan like he's a toothpick. It's just flat out. He'd back down Buchanan like he's a toothpick. And then so whoever would be Ryan Dunn, Jacob Groves, whoever it was, would come and double and help out with Burns. And that leaves a wide open 3-point shot boot every single time. So I mean, we got to stop DJ Burns obviously because he will put up some easy buckets if we're not careful with them. We got to stop his passing ability. We got to stop Casey Morcell, Jay Ballard's favorite player in the country out of any college sport. Casey Morcell. I can't stand that guy, but we got to stop Casey Morcell. We got to stop DJ Burns. We got to stop that whole NC State offense. I mean, it's we'll see. It's gonna be a fun one, I think. But the first go around we lost 76-60. The second go around, remember that was an overtime, 59-53. Remember DJ Burns hit that crazy shot from like the foul line at the JPJ with people all over him. He's most definitely capable. Excuse me, most definitely capable of making those kind of shots. So it's gonna be tough. Anybody got any predictions? Score predictions? I have not come up with mine, but I think I'm going to come up with it right now. I'd say, I don't know. I think UVA will win. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be down to the wire, just like that Boston College game was. Every minute matters. Every possession matters. I got to say UVA. Man, I don't know. UVA 62, NC State 58. I'm going to write that down. UVA 62, NC State 58. Very tough game. The problem is with that, though, as I get this down so I don't forget it, 62-58. The problem with that score prediction is in order for that to happen, we need to make foul shots. Because if we're going to be in a tight game like that, we're going to have to make foul shots late. And as I said before, this has been the tale of our whole season, needing to make foul shots. And we haven't confidently, when we go to the line in the late game situation, it's not very often where I feel confident, yeah, we're going to make these foul shots, close the game out. Like it's just not going to be possible. And don't get me wrong, I don't see the team going on if we do make the tournament, I don't see the team going on any crazy run in March Madness. But I mean, they're not going to win games. They're not going to go on any run. If they're leading a game at the end in the round of 64, round of 32, Sweet 16, whatever it is, they will not win. This is the ACC tournament, and this is a tough tournament too. We got lucky. Boston College just didn't show up at the end. We got lucky. This is just the ACC tournament. In March Madness, that's not going to happen. People will take advantages of your mistakes. And Boston College, unfortunately for them, I mean, they took advantage. They tied it up and sent it to overtime, but they did not take advantage in overtime. People will take advantage of your mistakes in March Madness, and it can get ugly very quickly. So, I mean, I don't know what kind of draw we're going to have. It looks like they might have us as one of the play-in games, so as an 11 seed or whatever it'll be. So, I don't know what kind of draw we'll have, what kind of team we'll face. They'll probably find a way to put us in the same bracket as Michigan State, I'm sure, but I mean, we'll see. It should be very interesting. But I got 62-58 Virginia. It's gonna be tough. Hopefully they'll pick up a win. If they win tonight, then I'm feeling somewhat confident about our tournament chances. I've kind of been repeating myself for the last few minutes, but anyways, I think that's really all I got for y'all today. I've been live for about 24 minutes here. 3:03. So, any final thoughts you can put in the comments. I don't think, unless my dad and Jay end up going live tonight, I don't think we will be live tonight because again, 9:30 tip-off time is crazy. Maybe sometime, I don't even know about tomorrow, to be honest with you. Maybe we'll find a quick little squirt of time to be able to go live tomorrow at some point, but because either we're going to be really frustrated with the loss to NC State or we're going to be preparing for an ACC championship. And I hope it's the second option. I really do. Is this team capable of beating NC State tonight? Yes. It's a factor of will they show up? Will they make free throws? Will they stop DJ Burns? And will they just show up, like I said? So it's very possible, but that's all I got for you guys today. I thank every single one of you for tuning in. It's a pleasure to do this. It's fun. And to any of you that are rewatching this later on demand, appreciate you watching. And that's all I got for y'all. So with that, I'd say go Hoos. Let's beat NC State tonight.